Hello, this is Mel Thompson, and this is a podcast and a series of podcasts about political risk. Today we'll be discussing Russia's economy and the impact on the economy of its most recent actions as far as restricting U.S. imports. While Russia's economy is teetering, they are now looking to restrict imports of certain U.S. goods. This particular knee-jerk reaction of the Putin administration is pretty much in reaction to U.S. policies and resolve to Russian policies in Ukraine, in other parts of Europe, in other ways. The overall issue that doesn't make any sense here is the fact that the Cold War, which lasted approximately 45 years, was not something that helped or improved the Russian economy. What improved and helped the Russian economy was the end of the Cold War. And it's as if Putin has forgotten this fact. No one could have possibly predicted that any future Russian leader could choose a throwback policy, which is what they're doing right now, over the economic stability of his own country. However, this is what Putin has done, and this is not going to be a good outcome for the Russian economy or the Russian people. Now, foreign direct investors in the confectionery, canned fish, and other agricultural products are in a very precarious situation due to these new import restrictions that the Russians are trying to lay on those individual industries. These import restrictions are going to create a certain degree of uncertainty with foreign direct investors and companies doing business in Russia. And it's also going to have a trickle-down effect upon the people who work in those industries, people who rely upon those industries for other types of ancillary products. And once you have a situation like that, you have less money being made, less money being spent within an economy, in this case Russia, you're going to have even a worse situation than you already have now. Even if you consider the political risk to foreign direct investors and companies doing business in Russia, their ability to scale back is more easily achieved than the ability of Russian workers to recoup lost earnings and then spend these earnings, if they ever get them back, in Russia. In other words, they're not going to get this money back. They're going to definitely lose money, and it's not going to be spent at home. The Russian agricultural minister, Alexander Kakchev, has publicly stated that Russia's confectionery and flour industries are in solid shape and that the import restrictions would not hinder but help them. This I really don't think is a true statement. I think that all the industries in Russia have some degree of uncertainty attached to them based upon their overall economic model and what's going on right now in the world. And I think that Kakchev is missing one clear and obvious point. The outside money invested in these firms will dry up, and well, it should, if they engage in these more restrictive import policies. It's going to be less profitable overall. Now, secondly, the cost of these goods will go up as competition drops, and there's going to be a lot less money being put into the Russian economy because people can't afford those goods. Russia is facing a $9 billion ban on U.S. imports. $9 billion they want to impose in trade restrictions. Foreign direct investment is going to follow that ban. And these investors and companies that are going to be impacted by this, or at a bare minimum kind of spooked by this, are going to be the downfall of this policy and possibly the Russian economy long term. When that money's not coming in, and when those companies are not doing business there or pulling out or standing back upon new ideas and new projects, then you're going to have a clear adverse impact based upon a political policy made by people who just don't get it. In other words, I have seen this movie before, and I think that Vladimir Putin may have missed the first screening of it. This has been Mel Thompson.